Have you ever felt like you see things others don't? That you understand uncomfortable truths that most people prefer to ignore? If so, welcome to the club of those cursed by wisdom, a concept that philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche explored with disarming clarity. Prepare yourself for a journey that will make you reconsider the value of profound knowledge in a world that often rewards superficiality. Nietzsche, with his sharp pen and rebellious spirit, left us a legacy of thoughts that still shake our certainties today. He saw wisdom not as a simple accumulation of facts, but as the ability to penetrate the surface of things. It is the ability to discern hidden motivations, social hypocrisies, and illusions that most people accept without batting an eyelid. This profound insight, however, isn't always a blessing. Indeed, Nietzsche suggested that in a society unprepared to face the truth, wisdom can become a veritable curse. Imagine being the only one to see the naked king, while everyone else applauds his magnificent invisible robes. Your truth becomes a burden, a source of isolation. For Nietzsche, wisdom is not the prudence of common sense nor mere academic erudition. Rather, it is a form of tragic vision, the ability to face reality without sugarcoating. It means understanding the ephemeral nature of existence, the absence of intrinsic meaning, and the need to create one's own values. This wisdom also involves profound self-knowledge, the ability to question one's beliefs and overcome one's weaknesses. It is a painful and solitary process, requiring courage and an unwavering will. It is not a path for everyone, and precisely for this reason, those who undertake it often find themselves on the margins. Imagine being constantly aware of the contradictions, injustices, and absurdities around you. While others bask in their comfortable illusions, you see the cracks in the system, the selfish motivations behind others' actions. This acute awareness can be exhausting. It's like having a sixth sense that reveals the true nature of things, but which no one else possesses. Every superficial conversation, every distorted piece of news, every hypocritical behavior becomes a small stab in the back. The world, which for others is a simple and predictable place, for you is a labyrinth of complexity and delusion. The most direct consequence of this awareness is loneliness. If your worldview is radically different from that of the majority, finding affinity and understanding becomes difficult. People tend to gravitate toward those who share their perspectives, those who reinforce their beliefs. The wise man, on the other hand, often challenges these beliefs, disturbing the peace and safety of others. This makes him an outsider, someone to be avoided or, worse, attacked. His truth, however uncomfortable, is perceived as a threat to the established order, be it social, moral, or intellectual. Nietzsche harshly criticized what he called herd morality, a value system based on conformity, mediocrity, and fear. This morality, he believed, was created to protect the weak and suppress exceptional individuals. The wise man, with his independent thinking, is a threat to this herd. The herd prefers the comfort of easy answers, simplified narratives, and pre-packaged truths. Anyone who dares to look beyond, who seeks complexity and depth, is seen as a disruptor. Their wisdom is not appreciated but feared because it exposes the fragility of common certainties. Despite his pessimistic view of society, Nietzsche was not a passive nihilist. On the contrary, he proposed a way out of this curse, the concept of the Übermensch, or overman. The Übermensch is not a superhero, but an individual who has transcended himself, who has created his own values and lives in accordance with his will to power. For the Übermensch, solitude is not a weakness but a strength. It is fertile ground for personal growth and the creation of new perspectives. Wisdom is no longer a burden, but a tool to forge one's own destiny, to dance on the edge of the abyss without fear. It is the joyful acceptance of one's uniqueness. Now let's bring these ideas to our contemporary world. Today's society, with its frenetic pace, its addiction to social media, and its image-driven culture, seems to embody many of Nietzsche's criticisms. We are bombarded with superficial information, polarized opinions, and constant pressure to conform. The search for profound truth is often sacrificed on the altar of immediacy and instant gratification. Critical thinking is severely challenged by algorithms that trap us in filter bubbles, reinforcing our pre-existing beliefs. In this context, wisdom, understood as the ability to see beyond, becomes even rarer and perhaps even more cursed. To better understand how this curse manifests itself, let's analyze some current scenarios. These examples aren't just theories, but situations that many of us experience daily, demonstrating the validity of Nietzsche's insights. Let's see how wisdom can become a burden in our world. Imagine someone who has thoroughly studied global supply chains, the environmental impact of mass production, and factory working conditions. This person knows that behind every low-cost product lies exploitation and environmental damage. While their friends buy the latest gadget or trendy piece of clothing without a second thought, the conscious consumer faces a moral dilemma. Every purchase becomes a political act, a thoughtful choice. Their wisdom prevents them from enjoying the carefree enjoyment of mass consumption. They feel isolated in their choices, often judged as excessive or moralistic. Consider an individual who devotes time to reading in-depth analyses, verifying sources, and understanding the nuances of political and social issues. This person is aware of the complexity of issues, diverse perspectives, and media manipulation. When he engages in an online discussion or a conversation with friends, he's faced with opinions based on sensational headlines, memes, or biased information. Attempting to introduce complexity or correct misinformation is often futile, if not counterproductive. He's labeled a pedant or a denier of the dominant narrative. His wisdom makes him a target. Think about someone who, on social media, doesn't just share viral content, but also critically analyzes trends, fads, and dominant narratives. This person sees the filter bubbles, echo chambers, and superficiality of many online interactions. While others join the chorus of outrage or enthusiasm for the latest trend, the critical thinker abstains, or worse, dares to ask uncomfortable questions. Their voice is often ignored, mocked, or attacked by the digital crowd that prefers conformity. Their wisdom condemns them to invisibility or virtual ostracism. Imagine a professional who, thanks to his deep understanding of his field, sees new possibilities, more efficient methods, or creative solutions to age-old problems. His wisdom allows him to anticipate the future and propose radical changes. However, they find themselves in a work environment or community that favors the status quo, fears change, and is stuck in old habits. Their innovative ideas are met with skepticism, resistance, or even hostility. Their wisdom, which should be an asset, becomes an obstacle to their acceptance and progress. Consider a person who has undertaken a deep journey of self-analysis, understanding their own shadows, motivations, and behavioral patterns. This inner wisdom allows them to see beyond appearances in relationships. When seeking meaningful connections, she encounters superficiality, a fear of intimacy, or a lack of self-awareness in others. Deep conversations are rare, and she often feels misunderstood or unseen. Her wisdom makes her selective, and this selectivity can lead to profound emotional loneliness. If you recognize yourself in these scenarios, don't despair. Wisdom doesn't have to be a curse. There are ways to transform it into a strength, to navigate this world without succumbing to the burden of self-consciousness. The first step is to accept that your worldview is different and that this is a strength, not a weakness. Don't try to conform to be accepted. Your authenticity is your greatest value. Not everyone is stupid or superficial. There are others who share your depth of thought. Seek them out, even if they are few. Meaningful connections, however rare, can be a lifeline. You don't have to correct every mistake or fight every injustice. Choose the battles that truly matter to you, the ones where you can make a difference. Learn to conserve your energy. Wisdom requires strong resilience. Develop the ability to tolerate loneliness, criticism, and frustration. Meditation, philosophy, and art can be powerful tools to strengthen your spirit. Your wisdom can be a gift to the world if used wisely. Find ways to share your insights constructively without imposing your truth, but offering new perspectives. Writing, teaching, creating art. There are many ways to express your vision. Nietzsche showed us that being wise in a society that isn't can be an arduous and lonely journey. It's a curse in the sense that it separates you from the masses, exposes you to uncomfortable truths, and makes you misunderstood. But it's also a blessing, because it offers you a freedom of thought and a depth of experience that few can match. The choice is yours. Succumb to the weight of awareness or embrace your uniqueness, transforming the curse into a source of strength and creation. Wisdom is not destiny, but a courageous choice. If this video made you think, if you felt understood, or if you found new perspectives, please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our upcoming insights. Share your experiences in the comments. Have you ever felt cursed by your wisdom? How do you deal with this feeling? Your voice is important to building a community of critical thinkers.